Welcome to Top 10 Archive. If television has taught us anything, it's that watching cartoons clear into adulthood is perfectly normal. Right? Regardless. The turn of the millennium brought with it a series of unforgettable programs, ranging between highly inappropriate and gut-wrenchingly adorable. After a laborious and tedious process, we're paying tribute to the best of the 2000s with our picks for the top 10 cartoons of the era. Number 10. Ed, Edd, and Eddy, 1999 to 2009. Canadian cartoonist Danny Antonucci created the infamous Ed Boys, Ed, Edd, and Eddy, for Cartoon Network's Cartoon Cartoons after he was challenged to make a children's cartoon. It closely follows the title characters, known to the other characters of the show as the Eds, and their adventures in a suburban cul-de-sac. Oftentimes it focused on their attempts to obtain the objects of their desire, jawbreakers. The show was a fan favorite and ran for 6 seasons, grabbing a Leo Award and several nominations along the way. Number 9. Invader Zim, 2001 to 2006. The animated cult classic Invader Zim was created in 2001 by Jonan Vasquez. The show centers on an alien invader, Zim, from his home planet, Urk. His mission is to conquer the Earth, or so he thinks. Really, the tall ones, the leaders of planet Urk, were just sending him off to annoy someone else. Zim sets off to Earth with his malfunctioning robot servant, Gur, on a 6-month journey where he would almost immediately encounter his main antagonist, that big-headed boy, Dib, and his sister Gaz. The show was pitched to Nickelodeon, who wished to cater to an older demographic. In 2002, the show was canceled after its first season, before the second season, which was already finished, would ever get the chance to air. Fans, however, would rally for its return, getting the second season to launch in 2006. The show garnered critical acclaim, winning 1 Primetime Emmy Award as well as a couple of Annie Awards. Number 8. Kim Possible, 2002 to 2007.
So what's the sitch?
The catchphrase of Kim Possible, the heroine of Bob Schooley's and Mark McCorkle's animated series of the same name. Airing on the Disney Channel, the plot follows Kim as a teenage crime-fighting super spy and her uncoordinated and awkward partner, Ron Stoppable, as well as Rufus, the naked mole rat, and the many adventures they have. Kim Possible was well received from the get-go and was never canceled during its 4-season span, growing to become Disney Channel's second longest-running original series, having been surpassed by Phineas and Ferb. Kim Possible would go on to win a Primetime Emmy and a Daytime Emmy, as well as an assortment of nominations. Number 7. Powerpuff Girls, 1998 to 2005.
Sugar, spice, and everything nice. These were the ingredients chosen to create the perfect little girl.
Created by Craig McCracken for Cartoon Network Studios, the show follows the story of 3 superpowered little girls by the names of Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup, and their fight against evil in Townsville, USA. The series would run from 1998 to 2005, and a feature film was released in 2008. It would go on to get praise from critics, getting 2 Primetime Emmy Awards along with multiple nominations. The Powerpuff Girls were so beloved and popular that in 2014, Cartoon Network announced a rebooted series scheduled to release in 2016. Number 6. King of the Hill, 1997 to 2010.
God dang it, Bobby!
A phrase often yelled by propane and propane accessory salesman Hank Hill from the American animated adult sitcom King of the Hill. Co-created by Mike Judge and Greg Daniels, King of the Hill focuses on the life of Hank Hill and those around him in the fictional small neighborhood of Arlen, Texas. The show would get its debut on Fox Network as a mid-season replacement, premiering during the second half of traditional television seasons. The show would find much success over its 13-year run, winning multiple awards in the process, including 2 Primetime Emmy Awards. Number 5. Fairly Oddparents, 2001 to present. A show with wands and wings and floaty, crowny things. The Fairly Oddparents, created by Butch Hartman for Nickelodeon Studios, centered on the adventures of Timmy Turner, a boy whose life is so bad he was granted 2 fairy godparents. Garnering huge success, 1 Primetime Emmy Award, 15 additional awards, and a plethora of nominations, The Fairly Oddparents is still running and just as popular as we remember it. Number 4. Pokemon, various titles, 1997 to present. Pokemon, everyone knows what it is, just celebrated its 20th anniversary and has spawned massively successful video games, card games, cartoons, and movies. Created by Satoshi Tajiri, first as a game, it would be adapted into the cartoon franchise across the world just one short year later. Pokemon has had 2 writers throughout its run, which is still going by the way, Takeshi Shudo, who wrote the first 157 episodes, and Atsuhiro Tomioka, who has written the rest. Unlike the other shows on our list, Pokemon has only been nominated and has yet to win an award. Number 3. SpongeBob Squarepants, 1999 to present. SpongeBob Squarepants, the American cartoon created by actual marine biologist and animator Steven Hillenburg for Nickelodeon Studios. The show was originally supposed to be an educational show of sorts, with many of the educational ideas from the show being transcribed to an unpublished comic book by the name The Intertidal Zone. The cartoon, however, follows our absorbent and yellow friend during his life in Bikini Bottom, along with his friends and other residents, mostly marine life except Sandy Squirrel. But we're not going to get into that right now. The show picked up, ran, and hasn't looked back since, gaining 41 awards so far to date with a vast amount of other nominations. Number 2. Family Guy, 1999 to present. And he goes by the name Seth MacFarlane. The show centers on Peter Griffin, his wife Lois, and 3 children, Meg, Chris, and Stewie, along with their sentient dog, Brian. The show was originally broadcast on Fox, but in their infinite wisdom and obvious good choices in television series, they canceled it, just 1 episode shy of finishing their original series run. Favorable DVD sales of the show would force Cartoon Network to offer MacFarlane a renewal of the show, and the rest is history. Family Guy has won 5 Primetime Emmy Awards, 19 additional awards, and received roughly 70 additional nominations, and it's still running strong, leaving plenty of opportunities for more to come. Number 1. Futurama, 1999 to 2013. When Matt Groening was approached by Fox to develop another series, he began the process of creating Futurama, eventually recruiting Simpsons writer and producer David Cohen. The series tells the tale of a 20th century pizza delivery boy, Philip J. Fry, and his many adventures in the 30th century that he thawed out into. The show garnered lots of attention for its deep character development, rich storyline, and just the way many of the episodes hit you right in the feels. Though never officially canceled, Fox executives were never supportive of the show, according to Groening, even going so far as to stop buying episodes to force it into going out of production. Comedy Central would go on to pick it back up, which we thank ye for. And the show would go on to win an astounding 6 Primetime Emmy Awards and an assortment of 20 other awards, with close to 100 total nominations before the curtains closed. And here are some honorable mentions.